now that we understand the need for quality content, let's talk about the link building process. But before I do, let me hop on my soapbox here once again and tell you that if you're not going to put the time into putting quality content on your site, you're wasting your time. You can only fool people for so long before you really have to deliver. So save yourself the trouble, start with quality content, and it's going to make this whole process a lot easier. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's jump right in. Now, I've already mentioned in my first lesson how links are the most important aspect to a site ranking well. So let's talk about the process of building links. Now just remember, this is an ongoing process. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not something you do just once. This is something you need to do consistently over time to really get good search engine rankings. See, just like moving up the corporate ladder, you typically start out at the bottom and you work your way up to the top. See, when you start a job just out of college, now do you start out as the CEO? Well, probably not. You probably start somewhere towards the bottom, maybe in management, but in any case there's going to be a lot of people above you. And over a period of years, you start working your way up. And just like in the corporate world, there are ways to accelerate your ascension to the top, and then there's plenty of things you can do to just kind of stay stuck right where you are. Alright, back to search engine optimization world. There's some idealists out there who claim that search engine optimization is bull, and that anyone who claims to do SEO is a scammer or a snake oil salesman, and they're boldly proclaiming that all you need to do is focus on providing quality content and the traffic will just magically come to you. Well, I think they're kind of full of it. See, the thing that I find interesting about most of these, so-called idealists is that they're usually already in a pretty good position. They've got old sites, they've got tons of traffic, tons of links, and for them it's pretty easy to say focus on content because they've already got traffic and links. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just not willing to sit around, hope I get lucky, and get the traffic. I want a system that I know is going to get results every time, instead of just sitting around buying lottery tickets and hoping I hit the big one. You see, when it comes right down to it, you need to be willing to promote your website if you want the traffic. It's really that simple. Now, there's a lot of ways to promote your site, and since this is a search engine optimization video, let's look at it from a search engine optimization point of view. In this case, promoting your site means getting links. Now, there's a lot of ways to get links, and I'll be covering my methods for getting them in great detail in the future. And I've also written an ebook. It's called The Ultimate Traffic Blueprint, and it's on this very topic of getting links. And it's got the entire system I've developed for getting a whole bunch of them. So if you don't want to wait, just hop over to my homepage, ultimatetrafficblueprint.com, and download it and give it a good read. Alright. Before I continue, I want to mention that while the links I'm going to show you can be very beneficial to your rankings in the SERPs, that's search engine results pages, just getting these links shouldn't be your ultimate goal. You should instead be looking at them as a middleman. Say, for example, that I want to get a link from CNN. Well, if I just call them up and say, hey, give me a link, they're going to say no, or they'll say, here's the number to our advertising department. And in any case, those aren't the links I want anyway. So getting a link directly from CNN isn't going to work. However, I could try using a press release, and I just might be able to get my site featured on CNN. See, the methods I use to get links, and the press release being one of my favorites, is that they act as a middleman, helping us to get the links that we really want. While the links that we get directly from these middlemen are okay, we're really just looking to attract the attention of those really high quality sites that we couldn't have gotten a link from on our own or any other way. Alright, now that I've got that out of the way, let's talk about the system. I have 5 methods that I like to call my cornerstones to building links, and they are article distribution, directories, press releases, social media, and link bait. Alright, let's start with the first one, article distribution. This is simply the process of writing an article, preferably on a topic related to your website, and submitting it to article directories. And if these directories decide to use your article, they're going to give you 1 to 3 links to your website for allowing them to use the article. Not only that, but when you submit these directories, you also allow anyone who wants the right to reprint them, to reprint your article, the ability to do so as long as they also link back to your website. See, so a single article can actually result in hundreds of one-way links pointing to your website. And because of the ability to get so many links from just one article, a lot of people use article distribution as the cornerstone to their link building efforts. Alright, number 2, the directories. This is probably the oldest method of getting links. Directories are simply sites that provide listings of other people's sites, much like the yellow pages in a phone book. Now there's literally thousands of directories out there that you can submit to, and provided that they like your site, they'll give you a link. Now, a lot of directories are free, but a lot of the big ones do require some type of payment to get your listing. But I do think that directory submission is one of those techniques that people tend to forget about in favor of newer, sexier methods. But just keep this one in mind. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Alright, number 3, the press release. Never have I seen a method for promoting a site strike fear in the hearts of webmasters quite like the press release. I mean, some people, including some of the clients that I've worked with, that when you bring up the press release, they practically run out of the room terrified, lock themselves in their bedrooms, and refuse to come out until you promise them that they're not going to have to do any press releases. I'm here to tell you, a press release is nothing to be afraid of. It's okay. And if you think that, well, you're going to write these press releases and the next day you're going to have tons of reporters knocking on your door, and, well, you're probably giving yourself too much credit. I mean, first, you're not going to be great at it. Once you get good at them, maybe, but not at first, so don't be scared. Go ahead, give them a try. Now remember, press releases don't need to be earth-shattering news. If you launch a new site, write a press release. You have a new product? Another press release. Have a creative or interesting article? Another press release. Now, press releases can generate a ton of traffic, so don't dismiss this one just because you're scared of it or you don't know how. Alright, on to method number 4. Social media, otherwise known as Web 2.0, the new trend on the internet that's moving away from traditional news outlets and search engines when people are seeking out information. Instead, they're relying on these new, interesting, newsworthy sites where people come and vote and tell people what they want instead of what television tells us we want. And with this new trend, obviously comes lots of opportunity to get links and a lot of traffic. So don't be afraid to venture into the world of Squidoo.com, MySpace, Dig.com, and Delicious. Alright, and the final one is called Linkbait, probably the most effective long-term method of building links. Linkbait is simply having some type of content on your site that people will find interesting enough to link to. So what do people find interesting enough to link to? Just about anything, really. Anything controversial, free software, free tools, how-to guides, mashups, videos, podcasts. Just be creative here. Just remember, if your website is boring, you're going to have a lot harder time getting links. So try brainstorming a few things that you can do to get the attention and get those links. Alright, well that covers the gist of my methods for building links. I know I covered them pretty fast, but I'll be diving into each of them in more detail in later videos for you. For now, I just wanted to go over them quickly, kind of let you know what they were, and let you know what you're going to want to be implementing on your website. Now, one question I get asked a lot is, hey Gary, which method should I focus on? And I'm going to tell you, all of them. You ever seen the cartoon Captain Planet? It ran from the early to mid-90s in the US, and it's a show about these 5 kids, and each of them has this special ring that gave them a special power. Now, when I was a kid, I loved this show, and to this day I can still think the theme song. Yeah. Anyway, on their own, they were effective, but when they really ran into trouble, they had to combine all their powers together, and they'd form Captain Planet. And then Captain Planet, he'd come out and he'd defeat the bad guy, because they couldn't do it on their own. Well, same goes for each of these methods. Each link building method is effective on their own, but if you put them all together, watch out, you got something there then. Now I know, it kind of sounds like a lot of work. And to be honest, search engine optimization really is just that, just some work. It's nothing real complicated or really mysterious. Alright, well that covers this lesson on link building, and I know it's a little bit long, but thanks for sticking with me here. Be sure to come visit me at ultimatetrafficblueprint.com, get my free report from the link from the homepage, and I just want to say thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next lesson.